Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of Maneaters series on Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I'm here with
Eric Spudic.
Eric Spudic is I've had you on one show before, right? Where I interviewed you, and I've interviewed you on, Indie Film or Independent Corner and all this other stuff. And I think that's it. I think that's all we've had you do. We haven't had you do a review before, have we?
No, this is my first review, my debut.
Debut review. There you go.
Maneater.
Maneater series, which you actually sold me a few of them, so that's awesome. Not this one. We watched this one on Amazon. The movie that we watched and now we're reviewing is a little movie called Something Beneath. And I didn't really know much about it going in. I knew that there was black sludge or something. That's it. That's all I knew.
It's like an oil slick.
Is that all you knew?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this movie. I thought it was more of a big creature that was more on the land, and I don't know.
I think it's in a way it's kind of disappointing that it's a man-eater thing, because I always think of them as creature feature, like, tigers or snakes or bears, whatever. Yeah, Grizzly Rage with bears and stuff like that. But no, this one is like a killer oil thing, sludge. Like, they don't really explain what it is, where it came from. It reminds me a little bit of Chud,
lots of sewer action.
A lot of sewer action going on. It was sort of like, I don't know, it was kind of cool. So we'll begin to start with, we'll tell the story of how what basically went on. But I want to explain the beginning of the movie is like the funniest scene is the opening scene, basically, because it is such a continuity error that I don't know how they didn't realize, like why. It's just okay. So there's this guy, and I guess he got the black stuff on him. We never saw that. I never
saw that.
I don't remember him getting the black stuff on him, but he's, all of a sudden, all these guys and tractors kind of thing come after him, and they're like, I guess they're opening up they're beginning the construction stages of this hotel, conference center. And so they, all these tractors come in and they're about to kill him. And then he gets his head chopped off. But then the next scene, he's got his head still attached. Like, his head wasn't off. So I that was a huge continuity error, right? Like,
yeah, and he suddenly has all these spikes piercing through him. And I'm like, did they pick up his body and throw it onto the spikes? Because I don't remember him falling onto that spot.
Right? No, that's true. He like literally, his head flew off and he fell someone else. They never show the body hitting the spikes, so that was so strange. So right then and there, we're like, okay, we kind of know what we're in for. Like, this is gonna be sci-fi. Let's just put some shit together and like stick, throw it on the wall and see what sticks, kind of thing. And that's kind of what I got from this. Which is, whatever. It is. It's a total sci-fi movie.
I think the opening was sort of a tribute to another made-for-TV movie from the 70s called Killdozer.
Really? You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I've never seen Killdozer, so I wouldn't have put that. Now I need to see Killdozer.
Starring Clint Walker. I want to say 1974.
That name sounds familiar.
He was one of the stars of The Dirty Dozen.
Oh.
And Night of the Grizzly.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll have to check that out. Killdozer. All right.
Yeah. Check
that out, everybody. See, if you want to talk to Eric about all the B movies, like, he's like the B movie king. Like, he knows all the shit. I'm still learning. Even though I've been watching these movies since 2004 or 3, something like that. I'm still learning.
There's so many thousands of movies, it's hard to keep up.
Right, and there's so many that we. Yeah, and that's why we're doing that, and that's why I'm mainly doing the series, because I want to check out as many movies as I can and review them. And I haven't seen a review series like this yet, so it's just be interesting. So next up, so after that, basically we open up to, like, I guess, I don't know how many months or years later or whatever, but the building has been completed, and they're getting ready for their, I guess it's the first conference, and it's like a one that's eco-friendly, so there's some sort of eco-friendly message, but they don't like throw it in your face or anything, which I appreciated, because I'm not a big fan of like preachy like eco message movies, and that wasn't what this movie was. I mean, obviously, because they literally did not care that there was sludge down at the fucking bottom of the sewer that was coming up to the drains and blocking the drains and stuff. And so the first person to die, other than that guy, but like the first person of the group of like people at this conference was this like very, kind of timid, kind of nerdy guy. Always has an asthma inhaler, and that's what they thought he died of, is asthma, which I don't even know what he died of, because he got attacked by the black goo and then he kind of freaked out, but like it didn't show. It wasn't as clear as the other deaths, I don't think, right?
It was confusing. Yeah, there was a bunch of trees, and I thought the trees were coming to life. But then wasn't there a creature running around?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention too much. I was just like, what the hell's going on?
I know. Well, it gets so confusing throughout the whole thing. But anyway, so he's the next one to die, and they just decide to, because, it's a movie. It's not real life. In real life, if somebody dies, they would shut the fucking thing down. They would have to. There would be no like evil company that would say, let's keep this open, or whatever. That's not even the security. Everybody would be like, call the cops. But then the movie would be over, right? Like, you can't do that in a movie. You got to have it be like, we've got to keep it open. We can't let one death ruin our day. We can't let two deaths ruin. We can't let everybody who's dying ruin, like.
No, it's a total old ode to Jaws, because how in Jaws they're trying to cover everything up and say, just open the beaches, keep the beaches open. We don't need to know about the sharks killing everybody.
Well, yeah, it's true. And then what is it? Yeah, in Jaws they had that like woman walk up and slap Brody. We didn't have that scene. That would have been nice, if that would have been great. Had like a woman came up to the old guy at the end and was like slap, and I was like, you knew that there was a sludge down there, but you didn't do anything about it. You let them die just like you let mine. Oh, it would have been great. It would have been the woman, it would have been the billionaire, either mom or dad of the hotel or whatever, like that. It was supposed to be like a what is it, like a Paris Hilton type girl that died. It would be nice if it were like her family that slapped.
That's right. Her father never does come around, does he?
No, it would be nice to see see her father come and yell at the person or slap them or something.
She was probably the most colorful character, the most interesting. That every time she was on screen, she was very over dramatic, and there was some kind of drama going on, and she's videotaping herself back before it was really getting popular. So this girl was ahead of her time.
Sort of, but I think that was the time that people, like 2007, that was the time people were videotaping themselves. But she was videotaping herself with what? A phone. And that was so strange, because I was like, she's talking to the phone like this, like as if you were like looking at an iPhone or something, and I was like, is she talking to herself, or is that like is there a camera on there or whatever? Because we didn't know. It wasn't an iPhone or anything, so it was kind of cool. For 2007, they had phone cameras, I guess, back then, that would videotape themselves vlogging, and vlogging was I think 2006 or something, or 5, or was when vlogging started, to be popular, or whatever. So anyway, she ended up dying. It was a very shining light. I thought so.
The old lady in the bathtub.
And she died, and that was interesting. We forgot to mention Kevin Sorbo's in this movie, and he finds her right beforehand, and he sees the black sludge on her, but he has no idea that's what's causing anything to happen, because he doesn't even know people are dying. So he just lets her go back inside, and she freaks out, while doing a vlog, and ends up. Well, they thought she killed herself, but I guess
she hit the mirror.
Yeah,
and the mirror shatters, and that's how she died, right? Or
well, she got cut with her wrist, but I don't know. I think she it just killed her, made her kill herself.
and Kevin Sorbo had a chance to hook up with that girl.
But he's a priest. He
Yeah.
can. Well, I mean, he was a Episcopalian priest, which I didn't know Episcopalians had priests, but I didn't know that. Like I thought they had I thought they had pastors or something, but apparently it was a priest. So he explains that he can actually date and he can do that, but he just didn't want to with this chick. I think he even said some line of like, it gets harder every time, or something, because like the chick is like throwing herself at him, and he's trying his hardest to be above that, or whatever. And she even says something like, "You could have had this," or something. You're lost. Like walks in,
and then her dog disappears.
That was sad. That was sad that her dog died later.
I think the dog. So does the dog become the coyote, or is that just
the wolf thing? The wolf? I honestly, I don't know. I mean,
that's the idea I got.
I got what I thought when I was watching this. Like, obviously, what this sludge does is it preys on your like worst fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his was it the dog the guy that no the girl that had the fear of dogs and everything, when they were Callie or Kaylee or something like that. She starts coming, she thinks she's being attacked by this wolf, and the wolf is really supposed to be like a wolf / German Shepherd, and she might have killed the dog in self-defense from what she thought was the other dog. Maybe the other dog was chasing her or something. It doesn't ever show it, but the dog is dead. Like the Cleopatra, the small little puppy dog, which is sad, was dead at the end of it. So I don't know if the dog actually died, because we see the dog at one point, right? The little dog, and then you see the big dog. So maybe she started seeing the big dog, and really it was the little dog that was like chasing her around, and she killed it.
Oh yeah, it could be. See, I never thought about that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like literally some of these things leave like so many questions, because I don't know if it's the editing or if it's the writing or what, but like some things are just too unexplained, So.
And the thing is, Kaylee, I think that was her name, is the first character to face her fear and then actually survive, because Kevin Sorbo saves her. And they're like, wait a minute, how did you survive? She's like, the priest saved me. So who was the next victim after that? Was it the two plumbers?
Two plumbers, I think, died, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of deaths considering this movie. I mean, it's sci-fi, it's made for TV, so the deaths aren't like gruesome or anything. They're just kind of like, the most gruesome was the head chopping off, and that wasn't even real. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe that was one of his fears or something.
That could have been his fear. Yeah, and that's.
And then maybe he died from the actual like falling on the spikes. I don't know. See, none of that ever actually like gets explained. This drives me nuts.
It's one of those movies that you got to watch 2 or 3 times and go, oh, now I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I didn't notice that little part.
Yeah, maybe. Or sometimes, maybe it's just badly written. I don't know.
Sometimes these things are rewritten so much that they forget details, and like, I think that's still in the script, right? And they're like, no, we took that out of the script, and like, oops, it's too late because we've already filmed the movie.
Right. that would be interesting. Like, I've done that with I was just writing a script, and I realized like I had written something that's contradictory in the beginning, that we have to go and fix, and shit. And so like when you're writing stuff, sometimes you're in the moment and you're writing these things. I'm like, this is going to be cool. Like, this would be cool if the black sludge, drips on these people, and then this happens, and then this happens. And then you forget, oh shit, I put that earlier. Doesn't make sense for this. And the stuff that I was getting it, I was getting the worst fears from the very beginning. Like, okay, that's it. Cause they had to basically explain that she was afraid of dogs, so they had the flashback of her when she's getting chased by that one dog.
Mhm.
And I was so glad they didn't do that for everybody's fear. You know?
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a long ass
2-hour
movie.
movie.
Yeah, it would have been a long ass movie of like random shit that didn't need to be explained. So one of them was fine. Then it's an hour and a half long, which means like it's 2 hours for a television thing with like commercials in between or whatever. It was fun. Like I enjoyed the deaths. I enjoyed the really kooky doctor that comes in like halfway through. Well, I think he was in the beginning, trying to get them to shut everything down. And he told them, yo, you can't, right? Wasn't that the guy?
Yeah, he pops up in the woods and says something, and I'm like, this guy looks like he belongs in a different movie.
Right, but he was the guy from the very beginning of the movie, right? That was explaining to the doctor. That's what I got. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that was a different person. That
What?
guy disappeared.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was the same guy.
Oh, maybe he had like grown some facial hair.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Gotten glasses, or
yeah, because he was trying to tell them that he was trying to get them to shut this down, because there's stuff down there. I thought that's what I got from it.
Now we got to watch the movie again.
I know. See, I like it's when you watch it once, that's one thing. That's why I kind of like watching movies more than once, like before I do reviews, because sometimes you get like you can figure things out. But yeah, that I think it's the same guy. I'm not sure though. If if not, because that guy does disappear and he's not killed by the sludge or anything. They take him away. So I thought they took him away and just now he's been just camping out waiting for this stuff to happen so that he can he can collect it, because he loved it. He wanted it to kill him so he could be one with the
she even said, give me your hand, and he like doesn't even reach up. He just like smiles and then just drops. I'm like, what?
He wanted to die. He wanted it to eat him. He loved the thing, whatever it was. I mean, they don't have a name for it. Black goo is pretty much what they call it the whole time. And it wasn't like I said, it wasn't a man-eater. Like it wasn't a typical creature feature. So I don't even know if it qualifies as a creature feature. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I guess it is creature feature. It's just, I don't know. It's like two movies in one. It's like the Blob meets Event Horizon, I guess. Wasn't Event Horizon also about encountering your fears?
Yeah. Maybe that's what they were going with. I don't know. It was interesting. So we have those deaths. We have these interesting characters. There's this one girl, Amy. She's gorgeous, and she's in it for maybe 10 minutes of the movie total. But she's like, I guess the event planner kind of thing or something. She's like helping coordinate things, and she's or maybe the assistant or something. There's no, like nothing explained of like what everybody's typical job is, or whatever in this hotel, right? Except the security guards. One of them having a gun, which we were both like, security guards don't carry weapons like that. Like
in a hotel.
Like, I mean, I'm in a hotel right now and I haven't even seen a security guard, not less like.
I think the janitor doubles as the security guard here. He's like, don't you guys be doing that now. And he's got his mop. What it is, like Toxic Avenger, like Melvin the mop boy as the as the security guard here. Is that what you're saying? Melvin, go clean those toilets.
And then go deal with those people that are fighting each other.
It was shot in Canada.
Made
by David Wenning, who's done probably at least 10, 20 movies. He does a lot of Christmas films.
He's done way more than that.
50?
No, probably like over 100.
Damn.
He is prolific. I've been following him since I used to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is a Canadian show, and he used to be one of the directors of that show, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna go check on that, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure I've seen him on there. And then he's done a bunch of other usually Canadian movies and everything. And he is a wonderful director. He did as much as you can make sense out of this movie, I think the two writers who wrote it, I maybe they were just writing it really fast. A lot of times sci-fi people, they have to write really fast, like in 3 or 4 days, figure something out. And then, right. Like the producers are like, let's make a movie about black sludge. I'm like, okay. Like, go write it. 3 days. We'll give you $1 million. Go write it.
Where in the timeline of Maneater movies does this fit? Like, it's not the first, because the first was Grizzly Rage, and it's not the last.
Was Grizzly Rage the first?
Yeah, I think that was the very first one.
Oh wow, I did not know that. And that was also filmed in Canada with David Dakota.
That's right.
No, I don't know where this is.
This was probably in the first year or so. This was 2007.
Yeah, so it was probably the first year. It was probably one of the first ones. I don't know. Like I said, we watched it on Amazon Prime. I don't even own this movie, or maybe I do. Maybe it's coming to me. So if it's coming to me, I'll get it and I'll have it. But we saw it on here and we're trying to decide what to watch. And we're like, I hadn't seen it. You hadn't seen it.
No.
So it was definitely new to both of us. And honestly, I was very sort of surprised. I mean, sort of considering I don't really care for sewer movies, like that's not, but I liked all the characters, and Kevin Sorbo was fun. And it was so funny because I was just telling Eric, I was like, isn't he a Christian? Like, it's so weird to see him do all these like made for sci-fi movies. He's like this, Christian's been in like God's Not Dead and all these other like faith films. And then of course he was what?
A priest. And
on top of that, like right when I told Eric that, he takes off his collar, shows his collar right then and there. I'm like,
and the girl was actually checking him out. Remember, she's checking him out. She's interested, and then he shows the collar, and she's like, oh. And she loses interest. But then later on, he says, "Oh, I'm not a Catholic priest. I'm a what was it?
Episcopalian priest or
and
something."
And then she suddenly is interested again. Like, oh wait, maybe I do have a chance.
Because he explained to her he can date, he can get married, have kids. And he just says something. He says a line where he's like, I guess I'm just afraid of commitment. That's his fear though? That was never shown really, right?
But they do show his fear of her dropping to her death. I was confused. I was like, she dies? And then she's there.
He faced his fear. He committed to holding on to her.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Wow.
Like, that was so confusing because we're like, wait, wow, why is she still there? Because like she dropped. We saw her drop. And then she's still holding on to her. And I'm like, I felt like that was like an editing mistake at first. And then no, it was just part of the movie, I guess. I don't know. But maybe that was it. Maybe
we gotta watch it again.
I don't know. Not right now. Not tonight.
I mean, overall pretty good. It was a fun film. I'd give it 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10?
Yeah, maybe 7.
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
I mean,
it wasn't terrible. It was, it was good. It was fun. It was like we had said before that we started this thing. We both looked at each other. We're like, at least it wasn't boring. There was no boring moments. Everything was sort of, things were happening quickly, and we got to know the characters pretty well. The dialogue wasn't terrible. I mean, some of the things were cheesy or whatever, but especially Michaela, which was the girl who, the Paris Hilton girl, she was a little cheesy at times, with her like a little over exaggeration of like Paris Hilton,
Like you really wanted her to die.
I didn't want her to die, but I just didn't want her in the movie. Like, I didn't want her to die. I just didn't want her in the movie. Like, she didn't bother me that much. Like, oh, I can't wait to see her get killed. There are movies that the characters just drive me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The guy in the wheelchair, fucking Franklin, pissed me off so bad when I first watched it. I was like, I fucking want that guy to die.
Sally.
Yeah.
Sally.
See, that's one thing. Like, he just annoys me. This chick didn't annoy me. She just kind of like, I don't care about her. Like, she can go away, but she didn't have to die. You know, if she lived, I would have been like, okay, you know, like I would have been all right with it. But she wasn't, you know, and there was no character like that. Like, there was no like character that was so obnoxious or so, you know, there was a guy playing House of the Dead and stuff, and he was just a gamer who happened to work in the maintenance, you know, or whatever.
Ended up becoming a plumber temporarily and then dies permanently.
Yeah, exactly.
Killed by zombies. See, I like zombies, so that was my favorite scene, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Seeing all the zombies pop up.
That was cool.
Well, it was so cool because they actually filmed it like it was House of the Dead. So it felt like you were in the video game and everything, which is the point, you know. They did House of the Dead better than Uwe Boll did House of the Dead, you know. So yeah, that was good. I'm trying to think what else. Because I mean, the movie itself, overall, we said, you know, 7 out of 10. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the greatest movie, you know, or whatever. I think I have this feeling I'm gonna like some of the other ones a lot more, you know. There's gonna be a few that because I've already seen a couple that I've liked a little bit more or something, or around the same. So I'm looking forward to diving more into this because, you know, you've given me a few to watch. You know, a lot of people are interested in the Maneater series. So I think this will be a big kind of cool show. And it's going to go on for like over a year since we're only doing 2 a month.
Yeah,
so
27 in total.
27 in total. So that's already 22 since February. So, you know, for 1 year, there's going to be 22 episodes. Then after that, there'll be, what is it? I guess, I don't know. 5 more to do. So that'll be 3 more months or so. Dang. Or 2.5. So yeah, so that's crazy. But, you know, it'll be over in like March of next year. And I mean, as long as I can find them all, some of them are hard to find, you know.
Yeah, the
some
newest ones, I don't even know if they came out on DVD here.
Maybe. What? For real?
I don't know. I'd have to look into them.
There's one called Scarecrow. I want to see that, but I don't know like where I can find that one. There were a couple that I was like, I don't even know if these exist. Like, I can't even find them. So we'll see. I hope I can do all of them, but you know, if I sadly, and I don't like doing this, and so don't get on me, but if I have to get somebody to like torrent some for me, because I don't do that shit myself, but if I have to find somebody to like find those like that, I'm gonna have to, because I mean, I want to do all 27 of them, not just 20 or 22 or whatever.
I actually contacted the guy who created the Maneater series.
Who created the Maneater series?
Danny something. I can't think of his last name. I want to say Tosh or something. He owns a hot rod magazine now. And so I emailed him and I was like, hey man, are you going to do any more Maneater movies? He never wrote back. But if you look up,
there's your answer.
I looked him up on IMDb. He's not even listed. He's more of a company executive. So he was working for Vivendi. And so Vivendi is the company that created the whole Maneater series.
Oh, so you should contact them and see if they're going to do anything.
Yeah, they got bought up by somebody. But I also wrote to Robert Helmy.
But see, that might be why they can't do anymore.
Oh, because they're
bought out. So who owns the rights to Maneater stuff now? Who knows?
Yeah, I've contacted 4 people now about the Maneater series, and
because people have said when I posted about this that people love the Maneater series and they want more of it. Like, why haven't they been making them all the way to 2020? You know, now we could do a coronavirus Maneater series. You know, the virus that's the invisible enemy. That's what it could be called, the invisible enemy.
Yeah,
you know, could go and kill people. Like, you know, all of a sudden, you know, people are getting sick and dying, and nobody knows how to stop this thing. Just like the real world. And there's a vaccine, but who knows if it'll work, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, this whole thing, I enjoyed it. I'm glad this was our second episode. I'm glad that we're going to be putting this out. the 1st and 15th of every month. So get ready for that. There will be more. I think you'll be on probably again at some point. We'll maybe in the next few months or something get you on again. Hopefully not in a hotel, but hopefully back at our apartment, and hopefully by then things will be a little bit easier with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
That's why we're 6 feet away from each other, by the way. It might not seem like it, but we are. Cameras make it look closer than we actually are.
My forehead is getting bigger and bigger.
We're not wearing masks, but whatever. Anyway, so anything else did you want to mention?
I think the next one I want to revisit is Sand Serpents. That was a fun one.
Yes. I think you were the one who told me that. We should do that one, at some point. All right, Sand Serpents. So, I'll save that for you because, I think, is that one of the ones you gave me, or is that something that I'm going to have to?
No,
I think it's one of the ones I have coming to me. So
yeah, it's on a 5-pack.
Yeah, it's a 6-pack, I think. Actually,
Wow.
6-pack. It's got Sand Serpents. It's got a few I already have, but the ones I'm really excited about, Rise of the Gargoyles, and what was the other one?
Wyvern. And
Wyverns in it. And
Vipers.
Vipers? Was that the other one in it? Okay, because nice.
Something Monkey.
Blood Monkey is in another one? Yeah. I'm excited for that one, honestly. That's going to be fun. And then there's like Maneater itself with Gary Busey. I mean, there's some, classic ones, I just watched Croc, with Michael Madsen. That was fun. It was, all of them are just sort of fun and entertaining and silly, there's so many like little mess ups and stuff in them, but that's kind of sci-fi, there you go. So anyway, thank you guys for checking this out. Tune in next in 15 days. We'll have another one for you guys. I'm gonna try to have different guests for each episode. Then again, I might have the same guests pop up later, months later. So check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let us know which one's your favorite Maneater series movie. And when we get to that, we'll let you know about it. All right. Bye.